Hey, this is Mike. Welcome to episode 4 of Mike's Hydro Garden. And today, we got a couple things. We're going to talk about nutrients and how I go about mixing stuff. We just had a pretty good storm come through here. And typically what happens is you see all of these buckets here feed down into there. So if we get an inch of rain, it's like getting 45 inches of rain, but not really. But these buckets will end up filling up, and that dilutes the nutrients that are in there. So every time I get a heavy rain, I usually go and check and find out what I have to do to make them all good. But before we do that, I thought we'd do a quick plant update. So last time we looked at these tomatoes, they were probably about that tall, and they are growing really well. The pepper plants look so-so. There's something going on with my hydroponics where it almost seems like they have too much nutrients or something going on. I think part of the problem is this year I recycled this perlite material from the previous year and maybe even the year before that. And normally you don't want to do that with hydroponics, because the whole goal of hydroponics is to have a microbe-free growing medium, so that all that's in that perlite is the nutrients and the water that it needs to grow and nothing else. So when I carry stuff over from year to year, I don't know. I thought I'd try it this year, being that I was kind of late into it. So this is what the leaves were looking like before. They're all burnt around the edges, just not looking real good. But I can see that the new leaves that are coming out on top are looking really good. Those are eggplants. And we can look over here, and you can see the tomatoes are starting to bud. These are Romas. And where'd you see the baby tomatoes, Oster?
Oh.
Right
there.
Oh, there we are.
He's so cute.
One baby tomato. So we're on our way. As I zoom over here, let's see, eggplants on the second row. These are, by the way, remember, this side is using tomato nutrients, and this side is using cucumber nutrients. And it looks like the peppers are actually liking the cucumber nutrients better, which kind of surprises me, because peppers are kind of in the tomato plant family, so I would expect them to do well. But these look really good. So that also is an eggplant there. Cucumbers have really been struggling this year, I think. They either didn't like transplanting, as I mentioned before, or I don't know, but the top of these are starting to look good, but some of these are just kind of pitiful, and it really shows down here at the stem. So let's see what else we have going on. I'm going to zip back over here. Had to buy some new cucumbers because some just didn't make it. They were looking really bad. Those are looking good. Those are cantaloupe. That's cantaloupe as well. These are some brand new cucumbers that are looking all happy and healthy. And over here, we have squash and zucchini that are looking really good. And you might notice that I have strings up now, all the way up to the top here. So my plan for right now, if we look at a situation like this, you can get down underneath there. You can see here's one zucchini plant. Here's the other zucchini plant. And my goal is to have them, as they grow, I'm going to go and hook them up to this. We'll have these big leaves, and this is just going to be a wall of zucchini leaves there. So we'll see how that all works out. Peppers typically don't need any sort of string until they're about 2 feet tall, and there's so many peppers on them that they just get heavy and fall down. The tomatoes are looking really good as far as being hooked on goes. They're trellising up nicely. Tell you what I'm going to do, just for the fun of it, I'm going to go and try and find a clip. Here's my big bag of clips here. And we'll do, let's see, the tallest one, which is right here. It's the third bucket. Today we're going to put this right here, and we'll come back in a week and see how much that plant has grown over the course of a week. So now we're going to talk about nutrients, and Zoe's going to take over filming.
Cool.
So, right off the bat, as I said, these end up getting diluted. So this is my little rake for my bushes after I trim the hedges, but it's also perfect for stirring up the solution. So I typically try and get them all stirred up really good. Make sure that all the nutrients are distributed really good. Just to show how well tomato plants drink this. These plants aren't big drinkers, a lot of these baby cucumbers and such. So with the rain that we got, these buckets were just filled up to the top. But this one was still down a foot, even after the rain, even though they all got the same amount of rain. So it kind of shows how fast tomato plants can go through water. In the summertime, they can go through maybe 15 gallons in a day. So anyways, I have this handy dandy electrical conductivity meter. Nothing too exciting, but the theory behind it goes that we are shooting for a specific electrical conductivity number, and that's basically what it's doing, is it's measuring how much salt is in the water. The more salt, the more conductive the water is, and we know that most of these plants need about a conductivity level of 1850. That's what we're shooting for. So what I do is I go in here and I shake it around there a little bit, and I can see this one is at about 15, let's say 1450, okay? I'm gonna look at this one down here and do the same thing. This one is much lower because I had to add a lot of water to it. That's at 925. And this one over here should be at the same as that other one. That's about 1550. Was this one 1550 as well? Remember though?
I thought it was.
So we have 1550, 1550, and 900. So now we're going to go in and I'm going to show you what I do. You can leave this open, Zoe.
Cool.
So this is my nutrient mixing setup. I have everything in a nice little bucket here that I stash up there in the cabinet. And what I have is this right here. So if we're looking at 1850 and we're at let's say 550, that's going to be what, 1300 that I need to increase. So I look right on here, it says 1300 for a 55 gallon drum. I need to add 4.4 of the nutrients, 4.4 ounces of the calcium, and 2.7 of the magnesium. So that was the tomato bin. So I put my cup on here. I'll check that. We're going to zero it out. And then I'm going to go, this is about 2 ounces, I think. Look at that, 1.6. And we're looking at 4.4. A little bit more, that should be fine. And then we're looking at 4.4 the calcium. I know it's calcium because they are little beads, as you can see, as opposed to the other one that's a powder. So we are going to go with 4.4 ounces. So we're going to zero this out again. That's 2.6, so I need about 2 ounces. That's pretty close. Now I just need 2.6 of the magnesium. 2.6, double check my numbers, 4.427. Where should be about that. Oh, and that's another thing to note, they're lumps like this. Before we dump those in the water, we're going to want to break those down. So we're looking at 2.7 here. We'll throw that one in there as well, 2.2. 5, 6, 7. Okay. So that is our nutrient mix. And that is about enough to do a half of a 55-gallon drum. That's about how diluted it was. So, anyways, now I'm going to go out here. So we had to put our flip-flops on.
Sorry.
And then we just kind of evenly spread it through there. Rinse out the cup. You stir it up real good. One thing, for those of you who are hydroponic people, you won't want to put these nutrients in right before your pump is scheduled to start. For example, these pumps come on at 7 p.m. and so I wouldn't want to put the nutrients in at like 6:55 or something like that, because you want a chance for the nutrients to get evenly distributed throughout the reservoir. So we're good. This pump will run one more time, I think, at 9 o'clock tonight, and then it'll sit, and that'll give me plenty of time. So usually I stir this about 16 times, and that is how easy to give the plants exactly what they need. And so I have a tomato formula up there, and I have a cucumber formula, and they sell them for peppers, general vegetables, lettuce. Basically what they do is they go and, through years and years of research, have determined exactly the makeup of all the little nutrients, the major nutrients, the calcium, and the magnesium. And a place called Hydrogardens in Colorado is the place that says this is the perfect mix if you're doing tomatoes, or this is the perfect mix if you're doing cucumbers. So that's what I give it. Someone mentioned earlier today, wow, what do you think about aquaponics? And what aquaponics is you have a big reservoir like this, but it's full of fish that are swimming around. And the fish, you feed them, they poop in the water, and it gets all stirred up, and then the pump goes and pumps that fish poopy water up into all the plants. And my only issue with that is I don't know a fish that can perfectly poop out tomato mix or cucumber mix or something like that. So I would rather have it be very, I don't know, exactly what the plant needs. I mean, we're growing plants here, not fish. So, and you can see how easy it is to make that solution rather than trying to keep fish alive. And what happens if your fish die? All of a sudden they're not pooping them as much in the water as before, and then you're going to have a problem with nutrients. So that's why I do hydroponics. It's just simple. So, and the nutrients are really cheap. This little cup was probably, I don't know, maybe 50 cents worth of nutrients. So if I do that, you know, over the course of a whole summer and all the stuff that I get, I may have maybe $15 of nutrients into growing all of these plants. So that is the deal. Well, it's getting dark out. I'm going to let you guys go. Have a blessed night, and we'll see you next time.